5月30号凌晨，洛杉矶工业市一个仓库，
In the early hours,
In early September 2025, a coordinated operation between the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement and the Drug Enforcement Administration in Los Angeles marked a significant step forward in the fight against transnational criminal organizations. Named Operation Hydra, this operation led to the arrest of multiple suspects, including an individual of Chinese-Mexican descent, and the seizure of approximately $30 million worth of drugs. The operation targeted a criminal network linked to the Sinaloa cartel, one of the world's most notorious drug trafficking organizations. If you're interested in this topic, comment number 1. The Sinaloa cartel, based in Sinaloa, Mexico, has long been recognized as one of the largest criminal organizations globally, responsible for transporting massive quantities of drugs like fentanyl, methamphetamine, cocaine, and heroin into the United States. According to the DEA, the Sinaloa cartel is a primary driver of the fentanyl crisis in the U.S., contributing to tens of thousands of overdose deaths annually. Los Angeles, with its role as an international trade hub and diverse population, has become a hotspot for the cartel's drug trafficking and money laundering activities. In recent years, cooperation between Mexican cartels and Chinese criminal groups has increased, particularly in money laundering. Chinese-based money laundering networks, often operating through underground banking systems, have assisted cartels in transferring illicit funds from the U.S. to Mexico at a lower cost than traditional money laundering methods. According to the DEA, these groups typically charge fees of 0.5% to 2%, compared to 5% to 10% for conventional laundering networks. On September 3, 2025, a YouTube video detailed Operation Hydra, a joint ICE and DEA effort in Los Angeles. The operation dismantled a drug trafficking network operated by the Sinaloa cartel, with involvement from individuals of Chinese-Mexican descent. Law enforcement agencies seized drugs valued at $30 million, including 302 pounds, approximately 137 klar of cocaine, 92 pounds, approximately 42 klars of methamphetamine, 3,000 ecstasy pills, 44 pounds, approximately 20 kg of psilocybin mushrooms, magic mushrooms, multiple ounces of ketamine, cash and assets, approximately $5 million in cash from drug trafficking activities, weapons, 3 semi-automatic rifles with high-capacity magazines, and 8 semi-automatic handguns. This operation was part of a long-term effort to disrupt the Sinaloa cartel's financial and drug trafficking networks. A key suspect arrested was an individual of Chinese-Mexican descent, believed to have served as an intermediary in money laundering and drug trafficking. The charges included conspiracy to distribute cocaine and methamphetamine, conspiracy to launder money, operating an unlicensed money-transmitting business. The operation shed light on the growing ties between the Sinaloa cartel and Chinese money laundering groups in the U.S. These groups exploit China's strict financial regulations, which limit individuals to transferring no more than $50,000 annually out of the country.
Fred, investigators are right now questioning the men and women who are placed.
Wealthy Chinese individuals seeking to move money abroad for purposes like purchasing real estate, paying tuition, or investing often use underground banking networks to exchange cash for U.S. dollars from illicit sources, such as cartel drug profits. According to U.S. Attorney Martin Estrada, these groups have created a sophisticated system where cash from U.S. drug sales is handed over to representatives of Chinese individuals in the U.S. These groups then use the money to purchase goods like electronics, clothing, or precursor chemicals for producing fentanyl and methamphetamine, which are shipped to Mexico. The goods are sold, and the profits are funneled back to cartel members. DEA Administrator Ann Milgram stated, Chinese money laundering networks can move money faster, cheaper, and at a fraction of the cost of traditional methods. This has significantly increased profits for the Sinaloa cartel, while helping wealthy Chinese individuals bypass China's financial restrictions. The operation resulted in the arrest of 24 suspects, with 20 expected to face trial at the U.S. District Court in Los Angeles in the coming weeks. One suspect was apprehended in China in May 2025, and another was arrested in Mexico just before the operation was announced. International cooperation between U.S., Chinese, and Mexican law enforcement agencies played a critical role in apprehending fugitives. U.S. Attorney Martin Estrada declared, "Dangerous drugs like fentanyl and methamphetamine are destroying lives, but smugglers only care about profits. That's why targeting sophisticated international criminal organizations laundering drug money is essential to protecting our communities." DEA Administrator Ann Milgram emphasized, "Relentless greed and the pursuit of money drive Mexican drug cartels, which are responsible for the worst drug crisis in U.S. history." This investigation shows that the Sinaloa cartel has established a new criminal partnership with Chinese citizens in the U.S. who launder money for the cartels. The operation garnered significant attention on the X platform, where users expressed diverse opinions about the arrests and their implications. Notable posts included, IceGoff on September 6, 2025 stated, "Operation Hydra delivered a major blow to the Sinaloa. Over $500 million in profits was seized, and more than 100,000 pounds of methamphetamine or fentanyl precursor chemicals were kept off American streets." The post highlighted ICE's role in stopping foreign terrorist organizations. Braxton McCoy on August 28, 2025 commented, "They deliberately used Chinese citizens. Now think logically about that." This post hinted at suspicion about the motives behind the Sinaloa cartel's collaboration with Chinese groups. DHS Gov on August 25, 2025 referenced a case involving suspected human trafficking, indicating that law enforcement operations target not only drugs, but also other criminal activities. However, some posts reflected concerns about the impact of law enforcement operations on immigrant communities. For example, John Favs on August 25, 2025, criticized alleged ICE actions against an immigrant woman, sparking debate about law enforcement approaches.
Here, we expose what China's media refuses to report.
These opinions, while unverified, highlighted a divide in public sentiment about operations like Hydra. Operation Hydra achieved several significant outcomes. Reduced drug circulation, the seizure of large quantities of cocaine, methamphetamine, and other drugs prevented millions of dangerous doses from reaching consumers. Disrupted financial networks. Targeting money. Laundering networks disrupted the Sinaloa cartel's ability to transfer profits from the U.S. to Mexico. International cooperation. The collaboration between the U.S., China, and Mexico demonstrated an effective multinational approach to combating transnational crime. However, significant challenges remain. Scale of the problem. Former DEA agents have noted that these arrests represent only the tip of the iceberg, with thousands of Chinese money laundering brokers reportedly operating across the U.S. Financial investigation difficulties. Infiltrating underground financial networks requires significant time, manpower, and political will. During the pandemic, law enforcement prioritized apprehending smugglers over targeting financial networks. Social impact. Aggressive law enforcement operations may instill fear in immigrant communities, particularly when individuals uninvolved in criminal activity are affected by ICE's actions. Operation Hydra in Los Angeles in September 2025 was a critical step in the fight against the Sinaloa cartel and its associated Chinese money laundering networks. With the seizure of $30 million in drugs, $5 million in cash, and numerous weapons, the operation disrupted the activities of one of the world's most dangerous criminal organizations. However, the complexity of the relationship between Mexican cartels and Chinese money launderers underscores the need for ongoing, collaborative international efforts to address the issue comprehensively. Reactions on X reflected strong support for law enforcement efforts, but also highlighted concerns about the operation's impact on immigrant communities. Moving forward, balancing public safety with the rights of vulnerable communities will be key to ensuring the effectiveness and fairness of transnational crime-fighting initiatives. This article has utilized reliable sources and perspectives from social media to provide a comprehensive view. For a deeper understanding, readers can refer to statements from DHS, CBP, or reports from Reuters, The Guardian, and WOLA.
The tangle of tunnels used to traffic not only drugs but also high-level.
The last tunnel that was found was next to one of my.
I don't need a warrant. I don't need a warrant. I'm not done to.
They're relatively close in Fort Myers. Okay, within a mile.
First target in Los Angeles, 35-year-old.
I'm just past the run and the landing, so I got to keep going down a little bit, I think. Yeah, 10-4. It's that little silver BMW 330 that's sitting right. He's been convicted of illegal entry, resisting an officer.
What country are you from?
Documents, identification.
Sir, how are you feeling right now? Can I ask your reaction?
You don't have to answer. You don't have to answer.
What country are you from?
Leave. And I saw one truck with its lights on.
Try to see if we can make out who it is.
Can we get the elevator?
I see the Ford Ranger and an F-150 reddish maroon.
He's got a recent conviction for drug. All four?
For the last 14 days. Have you had fever? Sore throat?
No, le iba a decir a mi amigo que venga, que lleve mi trabajo.
In there? Oh, immigration, okay. Have you been exposed to COVID?